We are recording.
What's up, narrative nerds? We are Story Pressed, the podcast where we generate stories under pressure. Consider us a random generator for prompts, ideas, and an overall conglomeration monstrosity of free-flowing, unfiltered word stitching. Gosh darn it! How am I supposed to get a generic one out of here if I can't do it?
What?
Nothing. We're a subsidiary of Story Press. Links down below, and are here to help you create, edit, and publish your works. I'm Madison.
I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Sophia.
Also
I
known
like
as
that
the
you-
Mick Mafia.
No, I like that you take your time whenever you're saying your name. I'm trying to spit this out this fast, and you're like, I'm just gonna lean back.
I'm leaning back onto this.
You're the most chill out of all of us.
I mean, facts. That's all we know. Let's start the show. Today, the name of the game is word salad. We have a random word generator, links in the description, and we have to come up with a story using these three words. We're going to use a random order determined by a roll of the dice, and the first person has 30 seconds to come up with their idea, and then the next, and the next, and so on. We'll have a chance when the person's done to ask questions and fill in possible plot holes. If we like it, flesh it out. Any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Let's go. First thing, if I go first again,
We're not re-rolling.
I'm going to
Rage?
What are you gonna do?
my pen across.
No, you should be checking your dice.
Oh no!
Alright, ready?
Where's it? Go.
16.
12.
I said 7 with so much excitement, dude.
7.
I actually had a chance.
She actually chucked a pen.
Yes.
You chucked a
And
pen.
there's a whisker on the ground.
16.
Second.
Yes.
This is the natural order of things.
No.
You wanted to do this, Madison.
I
therefore
did
you
want to
suffer
do
the
this. I didn't think I'd go first
consequences.
every time. You
Suffer
just
your
wait.
Pretty good.
consequences.
I mean, thank you. You're so really kind. Okay, ready?
Ready?
And generate. Continuous, muggy, and shout.
Whoa.
Muggy, like with a Y.
M-U-G-G-Y, muggy.
Mugwai. And shout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we,
Continuous, muggy, and shout.
make words into other words, like muggy, mugging? Does it have to be muggy?
It has to be muggy. It's whatever the word is. It can be muggy while someone's getting mugged.
That's fucking dumb.
I'm just throwing it out there that muggy is a very specific word.
He's the muggy mugger.
Like whenever it says variable, that can go math, or that can mean something that is a part of something else.
Which is basically math.
It's basically math. But
And then shout?
I'm my Marcus, I go.
Why are these words so dumb sometimes?
This is a random generator.
It's so annoying.
Let's see what we can make of it, though. I have a... No, it's an okay idea, I guess. I have to figure out a plot, though. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I got it. I'm good.
Okay. And we're good. Alright, so my story is essentially like a horror-based thing. Think Bird Box mixed with The Fog, because there's actually a movie called The Fog. Or The Mist.
The Mist.
The Mist, something along those lines.
I was
But
like,
essentially,
The Fog.
what ends up happening is the entire world, this whole global warming, all of the heat, everything decides to vaporize most of the ocean.
Oh.
And so all of a sudden there are these thick clouds of mist. It's muggy, it's hot, it's misty outside, everywhere around the world. And there are varying degrees, obviously. Like high in the mountains, it's going to be thinner. Down in the rainforests, you can barely see like 2 or 3 inches in front of your face. But the only thing is that whatever caused this, the particles that are in the air carry sound continuously.
Ooh.
And it carries it to hearing sensitive monsters that have been lurking
Oh my god!
in the ocean.
Bruh!
In the ocean?
In the ocean,
No.
whenever the ocean's vaporized, I'm like, who's disturbing my home? And then they're like, well, we're gonna go find this out because they're used to hearing underwater. They're used to picking up all of these
Where the
sounds.
sound
it's
doesn't
Where
travel.
the sound,
Thick.
everything is so thick that the sound can travel continuously to these monsters, and they can still breathe. So they make their way up. So all of these different kind of monstrosities, these liquid, nasty monstrosities, are coming up out of where the ocean, where they used to live, up onto dry land, and everybody has to be very tiptoe quiet as they are meandering around. They have to find a way because, you know, you move your arm, you accidentally knock something over, it's going to carry the sound, and then because they are able to survive on land, the entire world has basically become a big foggy snow globe. And now we're all in dangerous trouble because basically we woke up at Cthulhu and all of his kin, and now it is time to die.
Wow.
By squid. Eventually people have to like go and live on top of the mountains and all sorts of other stuff. Like, you know, there are always survivors in these kinds
Yeah.
of stories, but the main thing is trying to get to that point. The end.
All right. I like it. All right, so I'm next.
No questions?
I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean,
Seems
I guess the
straightforward.
main character would be like someone who is like, oh, like I heard that there's this giant mountain that we can navigate to where there's some people who have congregated. Because I imagine it's not like, oh, it's been this way for a long time. I imagine it's like,
No,
society
yeah, it
is
happens.
adjusting to
Yeah.
this happening.
Active adjusting.
Active adjusting.
Like
So-
it happens. It starts off as like a few inches, and as the ocean recedes, like over the span of a week, it rises from going from a few inches all the way until the entire, like our skyscrapers and some of our tallest
So the
cities.
atmospheres.
Yeah, the entire atmosphere is saturated
Mm.
because all of a sudden all of the water is able to just linger there. Whatever we've done to the atmosphere is finally come to destroy us all.
Come back for us.
And now the ocean, because we were destroying the Great Barrier Reef, is taking vengeance upon us. The
Mm.
end.
Finally.
Is the second ocean exposed now?
Essentially, that's
The
where they
ocean-
come from.
the
Yeah,
ocean
the ocean
under the
beneath the
ocean.
ocean, that's essentially where they come from. They're like, hey, our real estate, like we were sunbathing over here. Hey. And so then they go over there. And
Ooh,
destroy
that would be cool if they had to like go down where the ocean used to be, and they had like all these ships and all these like. Imagine what
They
you could
would
find.
see, essentially, because the only reason why we haven't explored down there is because we don't have machines that can withstand that kind
Or do
of
we?
pressure for extended periods of
We
time.
do not.
Obviously, we don't. Rest in peace.
Not
But
really.
because the ocean has readjusted, essentially, we can now get to the oceans under the ocean. So that is also another tactic that some people are using, is that they're actually going on ships and they're actually going beneath the water where these things used to live mostly.
Mm.
And
Some of
trying to
them still
find,
do.
yeah, so I mean, like, they'll be walking and see these massive hulls of ships and can just, like, walk right by them.
Wow. But like all the treasure and stuff is useless.
Yeah.
On it, I'm imagining like pirate ships, like grr.
Yeah.
So I guess they could salvage some stuff. But
Yeah.
Probably not.
The Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like it. Do you imagine like a family being the main character, or like a person?
I imagine it in the back of my mind. I'm almost like, oh, should it be, yeah, like a single dad and his kid
Mm.
as he tries to, because usually it's the mom and the dad ends up like sacrificing himself, you know, to the monster and all sorts of other stuff. So I think it may be like a good old single dad decides
Yeah.
to, with his young kid, maybe the mom was in
How very
rehab or
Tom
something.
Cruise of you.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
Can't fight me on that one. Yeah. Anyway.
Is gravity the same? I guess.
Oh yeah, like gravity's the same.
Oh. Alright. Well, cool.
It's just that now the ocean has essentially become a water
Receded.
vapor,
Mm.
has receded and now become a vapor that's just lingering in the air. And ocean creatures.
In
can
theory,
suffer
would
this.
the mist still reach all the way down at the bottom of the water too?
Yeah, it would go all the way up to the very edges of the water.
Because no, I mean like, would it be like like where the ocean used to be?
Mhm.
Would it be like actually visible down there?
Mhm.
Since like the mist would have risen above where the ocean line used to be.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
so.
So the ocean bed wouldn't be
All right,
clear
careful.
of.
When
Right.
he gets like this, he might nip
All right.
at
There's a cat
bare
here.
calves. 'Cause
Okay.
he just took. And he gets real excited after
Okay.
Taking a giant
For him.
dookie. He turns into a savage. He's like,
Savage cat. His name is Toby.
I just heard him like slosh all of his litter out of his box. I was like, oh no.
No, fam.
I was like, Kayla about to come home and be mad.
So how do they just navigate slowly? Mm-hmm. Is that the only way? There's no trick. There's no like blow it away.
I'd say there are a bunch of different tricks that you could probably do.
Okay.
Like, there's always.
Oh, it'd be
another
cool
way.
if like at night, like how the current rises at
Tide
night,
rises.
like so like there would be like a couple feet under the mist, like the mist would rise a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, me next. What was my story?
Oh my
I
god.
have so many questions. So I remember. So mine also has to do with fog, but mine is the
Pretty sure
fog
they're all
is
gonna be foggy.
it's in a swamp. This muggy swamp that is
Oh, no.
extremely difficult to navigate. So basically, it's like this rift. It's like a very long strip of swamp area. And like there are tons of monsters in there. No surprise there. But there are some people who can navigate. Like people who grew up near the swamp.
They're like
It's
rangers?
yeah, like a ranger. Yeah. And they can like go into the swamp area and they know how to like avoid the monsters, and there's like certain paths that they know about. And it's like you can't build a path through it because the monster would be like, "Hey, look, there's a nice empty space around. Why don't I just take a nap right here in this empty space?" So anyway, but you have to be careful. So there are some people. Oh, yeah, sorry. So the strip is continuous. I have to make sure I say that. Continuous all the way around. So there's no way around it. So basically the world is separated from like northern
east side
and
and the west
southern.
side of the...
Yeah, basically. And never the twain shall meet. Unless you can find someone to guide you through this swamp. And it takes like a week or two to get through.
This is very Shadow and Bone.
That's literally what I was thinking. I was
know, that's exactly what I was thinking as I was thinking of it. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. And there's like this mist in it that means that you can't, like sound does not carry at all. So like the opposite of yours, sound does not carry. Like basically as soon as it leaves your mouth, it's just gone. Like the air is just too thick for any sound to go through. So everything has to be done like without communication. So basically the main character is it would either be the ranger person that goes between and is like guiding these people, and then of course they would get like knocked off course or something, like someone makes a huge mistake and lights a fire at night while the person was sleeping. It's like, what are you doing? And so then they have to run, and then they have to navigate their way
it's
back.
also very Avatar.
Kind of, yeah, that swamp.
The two families when they're trying to get across that canyon.
Oh yeah, I can see that. So, but then like someone would be carrying something. They're like smugglers, and they're carrying this thing. I didn't have enough time to decide that, but yeah. So that's kind of my story. And eventually they make it to the other side, and like it could be multiple excursions. Excavation is when you dig things up from the ground. Yep. Yeah. So that's mostly my story.
I like it.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks, man.
I like that it continues all the way around. Like that you like have to like so it's basically you are separate, and it's like if like when one person goes to the other side, it's like a totally different civilization.
Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Like one civilization is still very like modern, and they don't really have like technology, and like the other side could be like just absolutely like there's just like everything's run by like automation and robots and shit.
Oh yeah.
One side could be very like Star Trek, and the other side could be very like Pride and Prejudice or something. I don't know.
Yeah. One could also have like magic.
Yeah,
It only works on like that hemisphere of the world. Like there are several different.
Or yeah, it could be like like on one side there's only like a small amount of people on one side because you have to go through the rift because it takes you through trials to gain magical abilities to get to the other side, and only
It's
in
a
like
magic
one in 10 survive.
I like that plan, because then there could be, like, there's one strip, but then if there was another one that went the other way, it would divide the world into 8 parts.
Yeah.
So then there could be 8 different kinds of civilizations.
Kind of
Or
like,
if there was another one.
because then you could almost do like a divergent thing where it's like you like people train to like they technically are all connected and they all know about each other, and so it's like and they're able to communicate, and so like there is a way like they have like a gathering like once a year or like once every 10 years or whatever, and they're like once every 10 years all the kids in the whatever civilization at a certain age, they come forth and they're like, I choose to move out of my nation into this nation. Ooh. And they're like, okay, well, and they have like a leader, like one person that's like their leader of like a group of kids, and they're like, all right, well this is, hope you have your shit packed because we're leaving right now, and they go on like, they have to go through these rifts in order to like pass these tests to like be able to join different like nations or whatever.
I like that idea. And it strips you of your other nation's
your like
powers.
old identity.
Like if you left a magical world, it would strip you of your magical abilities and add like if intelligence is part of that, then okay.
And like
I like
each nation is known for something different, like fire or like military or like intelligence or
Okay.
Dividing up the powers.
I like it.
And then the Fire Nation attacked it. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything changed.
Everything changed the day the fire.
Yeah. In the last book, it could be several books, one like for each nation, from the perspective of a different swamp traveler.
It could be like one family and every single one of the kids chose to go to a different nation.
Ooh.
And so it could be like, and then it could be like, but then the actual thing, the actual was like that the kids go to the top of the leadership and they basically all are still communicating together secretly. So now it's this one family that runs the entire nation, and they overthrow all the powers.
I do love me a good conspiracy.
I do love it. There could also be a nation of the traversers. They all meet in the swamp because no one could follow them.
Yeah.
They're just that good.
And they're like the all powerful, and then they all divulge into like each nation
It
and
could be an
overthrow
orphan kid who essentially was born in the swamps. Like, no one has ever been born in the swamps, and he was born in the swamps, or she was born in the swamps, because these two coyotes...
Born within a rift.
Yeah, born within the rift.
Ooh!
And so she's able to live in any of the worlds and, like, gain all the powers of all
them.
Because she can gain the power of the rift, basically.
That's the thing that sets them off course. Ha!
Yeah.
Yes! Okay.
I'm having this baby now.
We are stopping right
now.
Like, scream all you want.
It's like, it has
No
to
one
be,
can hear
like, the really, really premature.
Shout all
like,
you
to the
want.
point where
Nobody
they think,
can
like,
hear
the
you.
baby's not going to survive.
Yeah.
And then, when the baby does survive, it's like, oh, like, coyotes, like, we're too valuable, we can't have kids. Like, so the two, like, romantic tryst, like, they ended up, like, mixing it up in the rift. And then she ends up having the baby in the rift. And then...
But maybe she dies in childbirth, and then you called them coyotes?
I mean, that's what the Mexican people who are, like,
traversers?
putting all the illegals over here.
Right, yeah. And then that person could take care of the kid.
Yeah.
So then it's like, hey, we just grew up in a rift, and then they can all gather all the powers from all of the rifts. Yes,
That would be kind of dope.
It's a magical swamp. Okay.
Well, we know whose is the best now.
No.
Because mine's
we haven't heard yours.
lame. Mine's honestly kind of like basically Madison's. It's basically like whatever, the global warming, something they're doing something terrible to the earth, and basically the climate becomes a perfect habitat for aliens.
Ooh, murderous aliens.
And so the climate is super muggy, basically.
That's basically ocean sea life. You realize that, right?
So the aliens don't come from the ocean, though. They come from deep in the earth. No, I'm just kidding. They come from outer space, I guess. Or they could come from, like, deep in the earth, where it's, like, now everything's, like, muggy enough. It's not frozen solid anymore, so the earth is just, in general, just, like, more pliable to, like, oh, I'm going to come out from underneath. Whatever. And then, basically, yeah, the aliens are taking over, and, I guess they could live in Earth, and they basically have been learning everything about humans through whatever telepathic weird shit they have through the tectonic plates. And, So they need, so they want humans to serve them, basically, as every alien life does.
Yes.
And in order to lure people, they sound like, they shout, and it sounds like shouting people for help. And so they lure them into traps, basically, and take over the world. And they don't resist because humans suck.
I mean, at that point, people are like, you know what? You probably are gonna.
Yeah, at this point, like,
anyway.
if you keep falling for the same trick over and over, like,
You deserve
it. You deserve
to
it.
get
Yeah.
caught. There you go. Alright.
So yeah. Not as creative as
What if you had it from
riffs and such.
the perspective of one of the aliens?
I mean, that'd be unique.
It'd be
Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Be like, the weather's nice today. I think I'll come out for the first time in my life. Like,
And
hey,
for the first time in
there are nice little creatures out
a
here.
millennia.
Yes, they do what I asked them to do.
They destroyed enough of the Earth. It could be that, like, the aliens have been controlling humans for, like, centuries to destroy the
Ooh.
Earth.
Like, in
So that
certain
they
areas.
could, so they
different
could create,
people,
so that, like,
An
the
environment that they
humans
could live
would
in.
create an environment that they could actually thrive in.
Ooh.
There we go.
So in
Yeah,
whatever
like that.
climate that the entire Earth turns into, whatever climate that is, it's that area where they are able to have sway
Louisiana.
over people.
Basically. Nothing bad ever happens. In, like, any horror movie. Like, when was the last time you heard it being in, like, Louisiana?
Isn't there, like, literally, like, a lake
Or
somewhere?
Utah.
Probably.
There's, like, a lake in Louisiana or Alabama that's known for, like, dead bodies being in it.
That's because it flooded on top of a town and because things just bad happened there. But, like, that's real life. I'm talking about a horror movie. I'm talking about where somebody has made a horror movie that is based
Well,
in
nobody
that
goes to
specific
Louisiana unless they're going to literally, like, Mardi Gras. Nobody wants to
I
go to
mean-
Louisiana. It's a fucking swamp. There's crocodiles the size of me.
state. And they jump.
And they're
Ugh.
scary.
They climb
They-
stuff. They're quick.
And they have some of them have a 5-foot jaw span.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's not happy.
That's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's their mouth.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
makes me unhappy.
that's the part that needs to be the smallest.
Thank you. Ah!
Thank you.
I didn't know your jaw could unhinge like that. Ah.
Uh-huh.
that's friendly.
Okay.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I think that will be all from us. If you'd be interested in reading short story about any one of these different topics, or all of them, be sure to let us know and we will write it. Let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned for more tales. Storypress out for print.
Cut. That's
You
a
were gonna say
wrap.
It's a wrap.
Well, I say both. Let's see, because then you cut it, and then you say that's a wrap. That's what they do, I think.
Cut.
So
That's
I
a
could
wrap.
you say cut, and then I say that's a wrap.
But I like having the last word.
Then you need to say that's a wrap.
No.